The 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny, often seen as a humble relic of everyday change, has evolved into one of the most desirable early Lincoln cents for collectors, particularly those seeking high-grade, sharply struck examples with little to no imperfections. While millions of these pennies were minted and used in everyday commerce during the 1940s, a select few have survived in such pristine, uncirculated condition that their market value has reached as high as $6,600. The story of the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny is one that blends American history, wartime economics, and the enduring appeal of numismatics, offering collectors a chance to hold not only a piece of money, but a moment in time. To truly understand why some examples of this coin are worth thousands, we must first understand its origins, the context in which it was struck, and the delicate factors that determine its value. The 1941 Lincoln wheat cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not use mint marks. Therefore, when we refer to the no-mint mark penny from this year, we are referring to those struck in Philadelphia. Over 887 million Lincoln cents were produced at the Philadelphia Mint in 1941, making it one of the most common pennies of the early 20th century in terms of raw mintage. However, the vast majority of these coins were heavily circulated, exposed to wear, moisture, and oxidation. As a result, examples that remain today in mint state MS65 or higher condition with strong luster, rich color, and flawless surfaces are exceptionally rare and in extremely high demand. These are the coins that can fetch up to $6,600 or more at auction when graded and certified by major third-party services like PCGS or NGC. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln and was designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse features a side portrait of Lincoln facing right, while the reverse includes two wheat stalks framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. This reverse design, commonly called the wheat ears or wheatback, was used until 1958, after which it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. The 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny retains all the key stylistic elements of the series, but also represents a transitional period in U.S. history. America was on the brink of entering World War II, and economic conditions were shifting rapidly. Despite the large production numbers, the demand for coins was strong, and the mint was under pressure to keep up. This led to worn dies being used for longer periods and to coins with lower quality strikes, especially in Philadelphia, where mint mark distinctions were absent. As a result, highly detailed, well-struck coins from this year are extremely scarce, and these are precisely the specimens that command the highest PREMIUMSA. Major factor that influences the value of a 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny is grade. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS60 being the base level for uncirculated coins and MS70 being perfect. While an MS60 1941 penny may be worth a few dollars, a flawless MS67 plus red specimen with original luster and no contact marks can bring thousands of dollars, with some auction records topping $6,600. Color designation is also critical. Collectors prize coins that retain their original copper red color, often labeled as Road for Red. Toned or brown examples are less valuable, although still collectible. It is the rare red mint state coins in MS66 and MS67 that are the true gems of the series. PCGS, for instance, reports very low population numbers for MS67 red 1941 cents, and coins at that level almost never come to market, making them the holy grail for many Lincoln collectors. Adding to the appeal of the 1941 penny is the presence of several known die varieties and errors, which further enhance both its scarcity and desirability. Some of the most notable include double die obverse DDO varieties, where doubling is visible in the inscriptions, such as "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," as well as die cracks, cuds, and off-center strikes. These minting errors are not only interesting from a production standpoint but can multiply a coin's value, especially when found in otherwise high-grade examples. In rare cases, error pennies from 1941 with full red color and no wear have sold for several $1,000s more than their base value because of these unique characteristics. The composition of the 1941 Lincoln cent is also important to its preservation and valuation. These coins were minted from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving them their familiar red-brown appearance. Unlike the 1943 steel penny, which was produced during the peak of wartime metal shortages, the 1941 cent retains the classic copper composition. However, copper is a reactive metal and prone to toning or corroding when exposed to the elements. That's why coins from this era with their original mint red color are both rare and highly sought after. Proper storage, such as keeping coins in airtight holders and away from humidity, is essential for preserving their value over time. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln wheat cents often aim to build complete sets by date and mint mark, including only high-grade examples. Because of the challenge of finding 1941 no-mint mark wheat pennies in MS67 red condition, they become pivotal pieces in any registry set. As such, demand remains high. and prices continue to rise. Additionally, younger collectors and investors entering the market today are shifting their attention to coins that blend historical value with investment potential, and the 1941 cent meets both criteria beautifully. To determine if you might have a valuable 1941 penny, closely examine the obverse and reverse under magnification, but look for any signs of doubling, die breaks, or clean strike detail in Lincoln's hair and jacket, as well as the wheat stalks and lettering on the reverse. A coin with full detail, bright luster, and no signs of wear or damage is worth submitting to a grading service for evaluation. Even if you believe the coin isn't perfect, a second opinion from PCGS-NGC or an ACS can make a significant difference in verifying authenticity and increasing resale value. In conclusion, the 1941 no-mint marked Lincoln wheat penny is far more than just an old copper coin. It is a historical artifact from a pivotal moment in American history, a prime example of mid-20th century minting, and for a select few, a small object worth up to $6,600 or more. Its value lies not in its age alone but in the condition it has survived in, the crispness of its strike, its vibrant color, and its appeal to a growing base of serious collectors. Whether you're digging through an old coin jar, inheriting a collection, or searching roll by roll, keep your eyes open, because hidden among the common sense might just be a rare 1941 penny that turns 5 cents into a small fortune. The dream of discovering such a piece is what keeps the thrill of numismatics alive, and the 1941 wheat penny remains one of the brightest stars in that enduring journey. Next up, the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickel, a coin that millions of Americans may have unknowingly handled in everyday transactions, stands as one of the quietest rarities in modern U.S. coinage when found in pristine condition. With a modest denomination of just 5 cents, this copper-nickel coin, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark at the time, may not stand out to the average eye. However, to collectors, especially those hunting for ultra-high-grade specimens with full steps, this specific nickel represents an intriguing and increasingly valuable opportunity. In recent years, graded 1973 Jefferson nickels in top condition have sold for as much as $1,100, making it one of the sleeper coins of the series. So, what makes this common coin potentially so valuable? The answer lies in a combination of condition, rarity, strike quality, design preservation, collector demand, and its place in numismatic history, all of which converge to give this coin a special status among Jefferson nickels. The Jefferson Nickel series, introduced in 1938, replaced the beloved Buffalo nickel and carried the vision of designer Felix Schlag. The obverse of the coin proudly features a left-facing bust of President Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse is a depiction of Jefferson's architectural masterpiece and home, Monticello, with the inscriptions E pluribus unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, forming the backbone of American small change. While millions of these coins have passed through vending machines, cash registers, and pockets, only a handful have survived in the pristine state required to command a 4-figure price tag. In fact, though over 384 million 1973 nickels were struck in Philadelphia, coins that exhibit full steps FS and are graded MS66 or higher are extremely rare, and it's these examples that can reach market values of up to $1,100 or more. To understand the rarity of a high-val 1973 Jefferson nickel, it's important to grasp the significance of the full steps designation, which refers to the number of visible, uninterrupted steps at the base of Monticello on the coin's reverse. To earn the full steps label from grading agencies like PCGS or NGC, a coin must show 5 or 6 well-defined steps without any major nicks or bridging, indicating a superior quality strike. Unfortunately, most 1973 nickels, especially those from the Philadelphia Mint, were struck with worn dies or at fast production speeds, resulting in soft or incomplete strikes that lacked the detailed lines in the Monticello steps. As a result, finding a 1973 no-mint mark nickel in mint state with full steps is exceptionally difficult, and among those graded MS66 or above, the population is incredibly low, sometimes in the single digits. This combination of scarcity and condition rarity drives the value far beyond the coin's face value, with some specimens selling at auction for between $900 and $1,100 depending on luster, toning, and strike clarity. Another factor that contributes to the appeal of the 1973 Jefferson nickel is its position within the U.S. Mint's transition into modern production quality standards. By the early 1970s, the Mint had begun experimenting with better die preparation and more refined coin presses, but consistency across all production facilities, particularly Philadelphia, was still lacking. Many 1973 nickels show weak definition, die fatigue, or planchette flaws, which means that finding a near-perfect example is more than luck. It's a rare convergence of circumstances. For coin collectors working on building registry sets of full steps Jefferson nickels from every year in mint, The 1973 issue is one of the most challenging to locate in elite condition, adding intense competition and driving up its market price. Additionally, the 1973 no-mint marked Jefferson Nickel has variety and error appeal, with a handful of known die varieties and mint errors that boost its desirability. These include double die obverses, DDO, die cracks, off-center strikes, and broad strikes. A 1973 nickel with such a mint error, especially if combined with a full-step strike, could easily command a premium far higher than $1,100, depending on the rarity and severity of the error. Error coin collectors are always on the lookout for such anomalies, and they can often be found by carefully searching through unsearched coin rolls, inherited collections, or forgotten coin jars. The composition of the 1973 Jefferson Nickel is the traditional 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. While it contains no precious metal like silver or gold, its value is almost entirely numismatic, meaning it comes from its rarity, grade, and demand, not from the metal itself. This makes it one of the most exciting types of coins for collectors, who enjoy the thrill of discovering valuable pieces hiding in plain sight. It also reflects a broader trend in numismatics where collectors are placing increasing value on modern-era coins that were previously overlooked, especially those that are nearly impossible to find in perfect condition. So how can a collector, dealer, or enthusiast determine whether they have a rare and valuable 1973 no-mint marked Jefferson Nickel? The process begins with close visual inspection under magnification. Start with a reverse. Examine the Monticello building for the presence of at least 5 sharply defined steps. Any blurring, bridging, or soft strike in the center step area will usually disqualify the coin from the full steps designation. Then evaluate the coin's overall strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and color. Coins with full mint luster, no contact marks, and excellent eye appeal are prime candidates for certification. It's also wise to check for die doubling or anomalies, which could indicate an error or variety worth hundreds more. If the coin appears promising, submitting it to a grading service like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company is the next logical step. A coin that returns with an MS66 or MS67 full steps grade could instantly transform an ordinary find into a 4-figure payday. The rise in value of coins like the 1973 Jefferson Nickel is also due to the growth of coin registry competitions, where collectors aim to build the highest quality sets in the world. In these highly competitive circles, a single point in grade, especially with the full steps designation, can make the difference between first and second place. As a result, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that fill those elusive gaps. With the 1973 nickel being a challenging year to complete in full steps at high grades, its value has naturally trended upward as registry participants battle over the few known examples. In conclusion, the 1973 no-mint marked Jefferson Nickel proves that even the most unassuming coins from recent decades can carry incredible value when preserved in top condition. With a market value of up to $1,100, this 5-cent piece serves as a reminder that rarity isn't just about mintage, it's about survival and excellence. Between the difficulty of achieving full steps, the scarcity of MS66 plus examples, and the rising interest in modern numismatics, the 1973 nickel is firmly established as a modern treasure. Whether you're a veteran collector, a beginner searching through rolls, or someone sifting through forgotten change, the dream of discovering this quiet but valuable coin is real, and it might just be hiding in your hands. Next up, the 1801 draped bust, $1 coin is far more than a piece of silver. It's a tangible relic from the dawn of American nationhood, a coin that tells the story of a young republic shaping its identity and economy. While its face value is just $1, today this historic coin can command market prices of up to $6,100 or more, especially when found in well-preserved condition, struck during a period of fledgling American coin production. The 1801 silver dollar embodies artistic elegance, minting challenges, and historical value that few modern coins can match. For collectors and historians alike, it is not merely a collectible, it's a window into the turbulent and formative years of the United States. With fewer surviving examples in high grade and strong demand in today's market, the 1801 draped bust dollar has become one of the most sought-after coins in early American numismatics. The draped bust dollar design, which began in 1795 and ran through 1804, was the second type of silver dollar issued by the United States Mint after the flowing hair dollar. The 1801 dollar features the draped bust of Liberty on the obverse, with her flowing hair tied back in a ribbon, and the word Liberty above her head. Encircling her are 13 stars, representing the original colonies, and the date 1801 appears below her image. The reverse of the coin displays the heraldic eagle, a symbol of strength and sovereignty adapted from the Great Seal of the United States. The eagle clutches an olive branch in one claw and arrows in the other, with a shield on its chest and a constellation of stars above its head. Surrounding the design are the words United States of America, struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. The coin weighs 26.96 grams and has a diameter of 39 to 40 millimeters, depending on planchet variability. Its large, heavy silver format makes it one of the most iconic and physically impressive coins of early U.S. coinage. Although over 54,454 draped bust dollars were struck in 1801 at the Philadelphia Mint, the true number of surviving coins in collectible condition is much lower. This is due to a combination of circulation wear, melting, and loss over the centuries, as well as the simple fact that many of these coins were used heavily in day-to-day commerce or shipped overseas to facilitate international trade. As a result, finding an 1801 silver dollar in higher grades, particularly extremely fine XF, about uncirculated O or mint state MS, is exceptionally rare, which is what fuels its robust market value. In average circulated condition, the coin might be worth anywhere between $1,000 and $2,500, depending on its appearance and surface quality. However, in higher grade examples certified by PCGS or NGC, especially with original luster, sharp strike, and minimal surface abrasions, prices routinely climb to $4,000, $6,100 or more. Coins with natural toning and original eye appeal can fetch even higher values at auction, particularly when provenance or historical significance is documented. Beyond its visual appeal, what makes the 1801 draped bust dollar so valuable is its historical importance and production context. The coin was minted during the presidency of Thomas Jefferson, a period of growing political tension, westward expansion, and economic evolution in the United States. Silver dollars at that time played a key role in trade both domestically and internationally. However, the early mint struggled with the consistent supply of silver bullion, often relying on private deposits from banks or merchants. Coins were hand-fed into screw presses, and each strike was the result of human labor and limited mechanical precision, meaning no two 1801 dollars are exactly alike. Some have off-center strikes, adjustment marks, or minor die variations, of which add unique characteristics and, in some cases, extra value for collectors who appreciate the nuances of early U.S. minting. In addition, the draped bust series is closely connected to one of the most legendary coins in American history, the 1804 silver dollar, often referred to as the king of American coins. Although the last draped bust dollars were dated 1804, they were actually struck decades later as presentation pieces. The 1801 dollar, on the other hand, is an authentic circulating coin of its era, struck contemporaneously with its date, making it a genuine product of its time rather than a diplomatic showpiece. Collectors drawn to the mystique of the 1804 dollar often start their journey by collecting its authentic predecessors, including the 1801 issue. As such, the 1801 draped bust dollar serves as a vital part of building a complete, early silver dollar set and continues to see rising demand among collectors, especially those participating in competitive registry sets. From a grading standpoint, professional certification is essential when evaluating an 1801 draped bust dollar. Grading services like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company provide expert authentication, assign numerical grades, and encapsulate the coin in a tamper-evident holder. Coins that are certified as XF45 or 058, especially with eye appeal and minimal wear, can command $3,500 to $6,100, depending on market conditions and collector demand. True mint state examples are exceedingly rare and can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. But even well-circulated examples with strong surfaces and original toning continue to appreciate due to their scarcity and historical gravitas. Another important aspect is die variety research. As the 1801 dollar was struck using multiple obverse and reverse die combinations, certain varieties, such as the Americai reverse where the final A in America looks like an I, are of particular interest and can bring a significant premium in the market. Collectors and numismatic researchers continuously study and publish on these varieties, keeping the excitement and intrigue alive for this remarkable coin. Some examples with rare die marriages or unique diagnostics have fetched even higher prices due to their distinctive place in mint history. In modern collecting circles, the 1801 draped bust silver dollar has earned a reputation as a cornerstone of early American numismatics. It offers a powerful mix of artistry, silver content, historical significance, rarity, and investment potential. As more collectors enter the market and pursue classic U.S. coinage, coins like the 1801 dollar continue to appreciate, especially those with superior eye appeal and documented provenance. In an age where digital assets and paper money dominate, holding a silver dollar from 1801, an object that circulated at the dawn of the 19th century, remains one of the most tangible links to America's financial and cultural origins. In conclusion, the 1801 draped bust $1 coin is far more than an antique coin. It's a masterwork of early American minting that bridges the gap between art and history, with a market value that can reach up to $6,100. It exemplifies how rarity, condition, and historical context combine to elevate a coin's worth far beyond its face value. whether found in a family heirloom collection, purchased from a trusted dealer, or discovered at auction. The $1801 is a trophy coin for serious collectors and a captivating story for those who understand what it represents. As interest in classic U.S. silver coins continues to rise, the 1801 draped bust dollar stands strong as a shining example of what makes numismatics such a rewarding and enriching pursuit.